Aloha and welcome to the Path of Me podcast. I'm your host, Wendy Hutchinson, and I wanted to create a sacred space for soul to soul conversations with people sharing their light through their passion, power, and purpose. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me introduce my next amazing podcast guest. Hey everyone, welcome to the Path of Me. I'm your host, Wendy Hutchinson, and I have the beautiful Heather Clohessy today joining us. She is a certified psychosynthesis coach, one of very few in the United States. She's the founder of Luminous Lite, and she does intuitive corporate coaching, mentoring, and also does retreats with other beautiful people in her circle. So welcome, Heather. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Wendy, so much for having me. And I'm excited to be here and speak to your audience.
Yes, I appreciate that. What I wanted to talk about first off, right out the bat, was your pivot from corporate to becoming an entrepreneur. That is such a major shift.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how that came to be.
Wow. Well, goodness, it's something I like to call, going through the dark night of the soul, really. So it started several years ago. I had a cancer scare in 2019, and then it was a series of losses and deaths of our dear friends, and not COVID related, just sudden and shocking, really.
Wow.
And then that coupled with high blood pressure and then the beginning stages of tachycardia. I think I'm saying that right.
Mhm.
So I was just at a point where, what am I going to do? Am I going to dig a hole and go crawl in it? Or I'm really hurting here. What should I do? Right. So that's when I turned inside and really went deep to find my inner voice and, tried different modals. Not all modals work for everyone. So, for example, Reiki. So I became a Reiki master. That did work and resonate. So, I mean, that in itself was transformative. And then I spent a year studying what we call psychosynthesis coaching, and that is rooted in transpersonal psychology. So it's blending of the mind, body, spirit, um, right? Really kind of the new therapy and wildly popular in Europe, not so much here yet. So I'm one of only a handful here in the US when it comes to the coaching portion of my services. But yeah, I'd had enough. And I think most people have. I'm seeing women drop out left and right, which is so freeing. And so I'm just like, come on, the water's warm. I'm here to walk your walk with you. I was you. And so I'm here to help guide others through this transition because it's such a beautiful space to live. And I probably added years to my life and I'm very grateful for it.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think one thing when you make powerful shifts in your life, it comes with a little bit of fear and
Yeah.
trepidation. So,
Mhm.
how did you navigate through that? Because I think anytime we do something really bold, whether it's going into a new career or leaving corporate or leaving a marriage or a toxic family dynamic, any kind of major change, right?
Right.
Stirs up a lot of emotion. So
Oh,
how
yeah.
did you navigate through that and have the courage to actually take that step?
Yeah. I mean, it's almost unexplainable because it, it's just kind of like a mind's eye, really. So knowing, and there was no other option. But the main point I want to point out is this work, the tools that you get, right? And so you do a lot of inner self synthesizing. So understanding and having those tools really you have to sit in a lot of self-meditation, right? To because yeah, it was heavy, being in corporate for 25 plus years and being the primary for the household, it's a lot of responsibility. And so, but once you go through and gain all the tools, then you realize, and I don't want to jump into this too soon, but like you have different sub personalities, and that's part of the first thing we do is we identify those. And, they're all up in your head, like, you got to do this, the high achiever, the perfectionist, right? Head of household. And you synthesize, you quiet all that noise down because those are parts of you, they're not all of you. And then you glean into what your true authentic voice is. And you just say, guess what? It's all going to be okay. You guys, I got this. I'm driving the bus now. So, yeah, I'm on what I call a trust flow.
I love that. What did you learn about yourself
Oh my
integrating
goodness.
all of that
Oh yeah.
and
It
coming to
was
that
funny.
place of trust?
Exactly. So when we were going through the course, it was really funny because I really didn't know what I was in for. I just again, it was like divine guidance how I even found this program. It just spoke to me. And they started talking about subpersonalities. I was like, I don't have any split personalities. You know, So, when working through, I was like, "Oh my gosh, the peacekeeper." So making myself small,
Mhm.
um, in relationships and not speaking my true voice to keep the balance,
Course.
right? And just bypassing a lot so I could avoid conflict. And, um, what else? I would say the high achiever, right? Perfectionism.
I'm checking a lot of those boxes. I've been all those things
Right?
as you go
Exactly.
down the list. It's interesting, isn't it, how much we dilute ourselves and water ourselves down to keep the peace.
It really is, and I find that now I'm feeling the shift, especially this year, with the fire horse and then,
Mm.
the divine feminine bubbling up. It's shifting. In fact, there was an article, it's out on Forbes where it's the great wealth shift of 124 trillion, it says, and 70% of that will be going to women. So,
Isn't that beautiful? It's time.
it is
It's our
time.
time.
And I am celebrating all women everywhere, and let's go.
I've been reading a lot of these articles about these trailblazers that came before us. I mean, these were women from the 1800s, early 1900s that were brilliant. They were brilliant scientists, they were brilliant botanists, they were incredible. Um, they were just so gifted and so silenced by the patriarchal system.
Yeah.
And only now, a lot of them obviously posthumously, are being recognized for developing really important things in medicine and science and just so many things. And it's so interesting that you're mentioning this because I feel like we've had to fight so hard to be acknowledged, seen,
Yeah,
accepted, because the culture was so stifling.
yeah,
So there were all these women that kind of blazed the trail before us with just passion and heart and alignment and a strong sense of purpose that kept them going,
that's right.
and
Yeah,
that were absolutely incredible and ahead of their time, becoming architects and doctors and
yeah,
midwives or whatever it was, right?
yeah,
To bring them, inner peace and alignment.
yes.
Sometimes the voice is so loud you can't ignore it, regardless of the consequences.
Agreed, agreed. Yeah. So when you hear that call, it's time to answer it, and that's what's happening. I think women are waking up everywhere, and it's a murmuration, and it's a beautiful murmuration.
I love it.
Yeah, and I'm here for it.
So are most of your clients women then, it sounds like? Or do you
Yeah.
have,
So,
both men and women in your practice?
so mostly it's evolving. So it's just who really is called to the work, you know? Whoever is called to it, they will find me. I'm confident in that. And so it's really the person that wants to make that shift, that's done being stuck and burnt out and just, tired, depressed, your health is
You feel it
deteriorating, your
physically
nervous
too
system.
when you're actually kind of denying yourself,
Yeah.
and compromising yourself in so many ways. It starts to actually erode your soul, your sense of self, your well-being, your health, your vibrancy, your light just starts to dim over time, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
So what did you notice? What were a couple of pivotal moments that kind of got you to shift? Because you don't just go from a 25-year career to
Yeah.
this in a heartbeat, There must have been some signs. Obviously, you did have some things happen that got you going, but was
Mhm.
there anything else that really kind of motivated you to actually pull the plug and make the move?
Just the transformation itself, like, I literally went from 2D to 5D, and it can't be silenced.
Can't
I
look
mean,
back.
it's
Only one
bigger.
direction.
Right, like, I mean, this is my avatar, right? Like, that's home. So, I just it's bigger than me, and it came through so loud and clear, and even the name of the company, and so I'm grateful for that because all of that, once you start saying yes to yourself and you're open, that's what it is. The key word is being firstly present, right? And a lot of people have a hard time, like, quieting everything down and being actually present, right? And then being open to it. And so then it all started, the shifts and the transformation started, and it was just like aha moments after aha moments. And you're like, oh, yeah, no, everybody's got to know about this. So, yeah.
Did your intuition amplify and accelerate through this process of
Oh,
self-discovery?
yes. 100%. Yeah.
Tell me a little
So,
bit about that.
well, it's really fun. It's, talking to the guides, right? And just listening again, being present and open and trusting, right? So, messages, I receive messages all the time. Sometimes, there's the different clairs, right? Claircognizant, clairvoyant, clairsentient. I can't remember all of them, but yeah, mostly I tap into each one and just keeping that open channel,
How
you
did you
know.
learn to trust yourself? Because a lot of people have incredible gifts and they're so intuitive. And then they'll
Exactly.
go and do the opposite thing of what they're being guided to do. So how did you foster that trust within
So
yourself?
that's the beautiful thing about it because you're right. Everybody can go. I mean, anybody really. Nobody is okay. Let me say this. No one's gifted, right? We all have access to this. And so I think for me, what it is that I have not only the Reiki master, right, but the psychosynthesis piece. And so that synthesizes what you're asking, right? So having those tools and understanding and doing all that work because we go down deep into the inner child, right? And we disidentify and um, we get to the true authentic voice. And so from that is where you sit driving the bus, right? And so to answer your question about like trusting yourself, it all becomes clear and you don't have any of those inhibitions, there's no judgment. I live without any judgment or fear or doubt, um, or resentment
Maybe
or
the
anything.
filters are removed also,
All yeah.
right?
So
As you unpack that inner world
right.
and you start to really address those inner wounds and those child wounds because they all come from childhood. We bring these traumas in to be healed in this lifetime. And then we choose soul families that trigger us and foster or, bring these issues to light. And then we try to fit in and suppress our light and our inner knowing and intuition and mold ourselves
Yeah.
to really fit in the boxes neatly,
Right, and it's
right?
old guard, like, beliefs that were put in place, that they don't apply,
What kind
and
of childhood did you have? What kind of family dynamic were you raised in?
I'm so glad you're asking this because I was gonna share something too because I did, I was aware of this light when I was younger, and it did get silenced, right? And I remember my nickname in elementary school, Cherry Bomb Sweet Butt, because I was so nice. And I'm like, wow, I'm looking back, huh, well, that wasn't very nice of them. So my childhood, it was a good childhood. I grew up in Virginia Beach. Um, mom, dad, sister, I'm the oldest, and really good, comfortable lifestyle. Um, and then I set sail for California. I mean, there was definitely some trauma. Um,
None of us escape. We
no,
all have it.
we are, like you said, our history really is trauma, right? It is the trauma. And even coming out of the womb, we experience the trauma. But yeah, there was sexual abuse, not in the family, but like different encounters that, a lot of women, unfortunately, back then
Had to tolerate. That was just expected,
tolerate.
I think, and you were just not expected to stand up for yourself or, it was
Mhm.
just something you kinda tried to move on from and
Right. And
forget
then thinking
about.
you're the bad one and really like, no, that happened to you. Like,
Yeah, but unpacking these things are so painful, and if you
yeah.
don't have, like, a safe environment to do that, you just carry those traumas and the shame around it and the story that goes with it,
Right,
and it just
right,
kinda settles into your tissues and into your being, until
yeah,
you can find someone to facilitate and extract that and help you heal that wound.
exactly.
So, I think we all go through that. What inspired you to move to California? What was the calling for you? How old were you when you moved?
So now as I'm living and breathing right here on this call, I'm just realizing too, I remember when I was little, I drew and colored, it was an art piece. I don't know how old I was, but I drew it was like the blue and the yellow California license plate. Like I made one for art class or something.
Really?
So I'm just now recalling that. And then I came out actually for a friend's wedding and we went to Laguna Beach, stayed there for a few weeks, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this place is gorgeous." I went home, packed my bags, told my parents that I was moving to California. They're like, "Oh, no, honey, are you a hippie?" I'm like, "Well, if that means somebody who's kind and loving and up for adventure and ready to start her new life, yes. Yes, that's me." So I moved to Laguna Beach in late 95, and I was there for 15 years, and then I took my position with American Express and moved up to Topanga, which is where I live now.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
I love that you followed your heart, though, because it takes a lot of
Mm,
courage.
yeah. Oh, yeah, and I had no idea how expensive Laguna Beach was. I got 3 jobs, like,
Oh my
instantly.
gosh.
I mean, it was crazy, like, waking up early and roasting coffee, then didn't have a car, so I would have to get a ride down to San Clemente, and at the time, it was First Interstate, that's how I'm dating myself, but that's okay. Celebrating it, it's all experience and growth, before it merged with First Interstate, before they merged with Wells Fargo, and then I get a ride back and answer phones for a restaurant delivery.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're hustling. You're hustling and
hustling.
not living. How old were
Mhm.
you when things kinda settled and you kinda settled into yourself and didn't have to work 3 jobs and things opened up a little bit financially for you?
I would say that was early 20s, so probably 27, like later 20s. It was
So you were
consistent.
intuitive as a child. Did you stifle that? Did you always trust that, or did you just kinda bury it for a while and then it started to
Buried it.
emerge?
I didn't understand. Yeah,
Mm.
no clue.
So what
Yeah.
sparked it
So
to
what
come back?
sparked?
Yeah, because
Um,
you buried it, so you had to excavate it, right?
I mean, you know what? The first person that really called out is dear friend of mine and also a Reiki master. We were on a hike and she's like, "Holy smokes, I am getting all sorts of stuff. You've got a lot of stuff going on, you know?" And she turned me on to energy healing, the book Energy Healing for Empaths, and I read that and I was like, "Holy smokes." Yeah. So that really kind of started, my curiosity with Reiki too. And that was, gosh, where probably 8 years ago, 9 years ago?
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
And how did that change you? Like, going from just someone living their normal life into the healing arts. What did you notice? What did you learn about yourself through that journey?
oh, wow. So much, so much. I mean, like all the different subpersonalities we touched on earlier, that in conjunct or in tandem with the psychosynthesis. I'm eating better, sleeping better, my skin's better, I have more energy, right? I don't know how to explain it. My eyesight hasn't changed. I actually was wearing readers before. I don't have to wear readers really anymore, which is crazy. Um, yeah, my hair,
And would you say that's related to raising your frequency and running the
yes,
energy and also
absolutely.
clearing, density in your field by the healing work you've been doing and
Absolutely. Absolutely. Saying yes to yourself and understanding who yourself is and having all those tools, right? Yeah, and being open. It's so moving. Yeah, I was blocked before. And
I think
so
many
and most
people
people
are
are. Mhm.
because you're so locked into the program.
Yeah,
You're so
exactly.
embedded in the program, you don't realize you're in a program.
Exactly.
Right? And then
Exactly.
you get to a point and you kind of wake up and you are looking at the same thing, but from a different through a different lens.
Exactly.
And then everybody in that same program thinks you're the crazy one because you kind of veered off the accepted normal track.
Right. And so that's where, the doubt and the fear and everything comes in because you're like, "Wait, am I?" But no, you
You
don't
have to
doubt
really
and
fight
fear.
for yourself, I find. Once you start on this path,
Mhm.
it's like the door just keeps opening. And you have to keep walking through the door.
It does.
Doors keep opening because you're going through different initiations, different levels of healing, different um, levels of higher consciousness. And as you expand and heal, then it's like watering and fertilizing a garden, right? It just starts to flourish and grow even more.
Yep. Yeah.
And I don't know if this is true for you, but for me, I began to know myself so well and trust what I got intuitively that it didn't matter what other people thought. Like, they could have their story, and it no longer hurt me, and I was no longer chasing worthiness to be
Oh,
accepted because I accepted myself. Did you find that to be true on your journey?
absolutely. And it's hard because now I know exactly what the ailment is and I can see their pain, and I know how to get them out, but it's like yeah, it's when they're ready and when they want to because
It
it's all about
has to be.
happiness is an inside job, and, it's you've gotta be awakened to it, and to your point, no, I don't yes, the relationships, especially, like, your inner circle, so, family members, right? Yeah, because you're no longer showing up as a version that makes their life easier,
Exactly, and they don't
you
like
know?
that. They
They
do
don't
not
like that.
like that,
They
and
don't
they'll
like that. So
there's a lot of
but all I have
sidebars,
is
right?
love.
Where they start
Yeah,
talking like, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with you?"
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Um,
And when they do that, it's really just a mirror of their own what's inside.
yes, well, we're triggering them with our light.
Mhm.
We're holding a mirror up, and it's triggering for
Exactly.
others. I lost a lot of friends on that journey because we make friends when we're at a certain vibrational place, right? We make friends when we're in a specific bandwidth.
Right.
I always talk about it like it's like AM FM satellite.
Yes.
Like you meet somebody in AM radio and you feel this synergy and this connection.
Right.
And then when we start changing and we kind of float into maybe FM radio and they're not interested,
Right.
I felt like I could bridge the gap for a little while, but after a while, I could not.
Yeah.
It
Well, and you don't have to
didn't work
give it
anymore.
your energy. I mean, you can still hold space and unconditional love and realize that, like, that's their own
Path.
journey that they're on, you know? They're not ready, they're not ready. There's nothing you can do or say.
And it's
Yeah,
okay. But the difference I found is I can honor their path, but they cannot accept mine.
exactly.
Because they want you to be who they need you to be,
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
not gonna happen.
So, have you gone through a lot of shedding of and creating space for new people to come in as you went through this trans you know, personal therapy and experience? Because I'm thinking as you're healing, you're changing internally,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Your worldview is changing too. What was that like
Absolutely.
for
Yeah.
you?
So, well, my entire family is like, "What? Wow, like, you sound different, you look different, like, it's kinda crazy," you know? But again, you're that mirror, and you're so happy,
Yeah,
and you're literally glowing, right? And they're
right.
like, "Whoa, I want a piece of that. Like, what's up?" You know? So, most definitely, and then definitely major space for new people coming in, like yourself.
Yeah, it was so great
Mm,
when we connected at first. It was, when we first met each other, which wasn't that long ago.
yeah.
But I'm wondering if there's something on your heart that you want to share that would help others who are kind of going through this shift themselves.
As far as relationships go?
I mean, just what really helped you navigate the path? What were a couple
So,
of things that were
finding
helpful to you?
yeah, yeah. So, I would say in the beginning, it was finding, time and space for myself, right? And doing rituals, right? So, and whatever that may be for you, maybe it's a 5-minute shower manifestation, you know? If you're working 9 to 5, or, um, it could be whatever it is, it's just attention to yourself, right? And giving yourself a timeout. And, so for me, I do, like, my ground clear for sex still almost every day. I do, self Reiki, and then I also do my Hape, which Hape is from the Amazon jungles. It's a fine, um, plant medicine, non-psychoactive. It's like healing plants from the Amazons that they've been using for thousands of years to kind of, just energy protect, and
You
I
put
sit
that in
them
your
with
tea, or how do you ingest that? Or
it's a karape, I think it's called, so you go right up the nose.
like
Yeah.
like a spray kind of thing?
You have a wooden,
Mm.
it's you put it on your and it's a powder, so you go through a whole ceremony and ask permission and your intentions, and then you put a little, and then you scoop it, and then you do one side and the other side.
Oh, this is something from the Amazon that you were introduced to through a friend or
Through the tribe. So the tribe came here to Topanga. It's the Hunikuni tribe or the Hunikune. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I sat with the actual tribe members, and they serve you, right? So I tried it there first, and I was like, "Wow, this is
what did you
good."
notice about that you started to incorporate it into your daily life? What was
Yeah,
it
I
about it?
liked it because it was, I mean, you don't feel anything. It's more mind, right? It opens up. It's like a mind opener, not really, I mean, it
Do you
could
feel
be
like it's
depending.
something that works with your energy or your
Yes, it
consciousness,
works
or
for
how does that
my
work? Your
it's
biology, all of it?
I think it's energy and my consciousness, so it's great to, like, sit in meditation with it, yeah, but it's just my personal, like, I'm no expert per se,
Yeah,
you know,
everybody
so
has their own tools that resonate for them. For some people, it might be a
yeah,
3-mile run, or it might be a
yeah,
meditation, or it could be an ice bath, or it could be just being at the ocean.
right,
And I think
right,
the important thing is that people know that whatever works for you is what you should be doing.
exactly,
I really try to honor the
exactly,
journey of every single person as long as you're not harming someone else
right,
in the
exactly,
practice of it, right?
well, absolutely. But yeah, so and to your point, everybody's different. So if I had someone come to me, that I would explore different, modals that maybe would benefit them the most after learning more about them, and I could make recommendations or what have you. So yeah, it's again going back to being present. That I can't stress that enough. And so that a lot of people like the whole meditation thing. It's like, I can't meditate. This is like a galloping, I got monkey brain, there's no way.
How did you
But
learn
then,
to quiet your mind?
so I like this. So when you are meditating, um, and if you get distracted, it's okay. Let the thoughts come in, acknowledge them, let them go. And then if you have to, you say, I release, I receive, I release, I receive. And if you just have to do a chant in the beginning to kind of retrain
Almost like a
your
mantra.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
release the thought and you receive information and you release the thought.
yes,
And then did you find over time you didn't have to
I
say it
have
as
to do
often because you were kind of conditioning your mind to be more of an open, your
that's exactly
consciousness to
right.
be more open. You didn't have the
Be
monkey mind.
present. Yeah, yeah,
I was like that too. Also,
yeah,
I was a doer because I would chase worthiness through checking, the box.
yes,
And I was a perfectionist like you. So or I don't know if you mentioned that you were, but it was
yeah,
definitely a program for me.
yeah,
And so I had to really unlearn that. Or I would say find my innate worthiness.
right,
And man,
right,
that was an uphill climb because my whole life I thought, "Oh man, I got to earn this."
right.
Right? And
But
it
it
was
feels so free.
it's so freeing, but you can't
Yeah,
tell somebody how free you become because you have to experience it to understand it.
exactly. It's
Right.
almost like childbirth, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Seriously, I mean, and we're birthing our authentic selves.
exactly. Well, we finally got there. So I think that's the main thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
we don't know the timing of it, and everybody kind of awakens to remembering who they are on their own time and their own pace. And I found as the further I've gone, I don't know if this is true for you, but maybe I can ask you this: have you noticed a higher tolerance because we have to meet people as healers where they are?
Right,
So, the old version of me would have had an agenda and I would have wanted to get people somewhere,
right.
but who I am now is more like in the flow and more
Yes.
like, let's just see what comes and what you need and where you're at, and wherever you are is okay. Like, I don't have an agenda or, do you kind of feel the same? Like, you just
I do. In fact, even stuff like this, before I would have been nervous. What am I going to say? Oh my gosh, and you don't have any of those reservations anymore. I don't know how to explain it. It's miraculous. You're not solving for X when you don't know what X is. You know what I
that's a
mean?
good point. That's a really
Yeah. Yeah. And we do that so much. And to your point, stop being human doings and actually be a human being, right? Be in the be and
it
be
takes
present.
a lot to break that program of achievement through doing and knowing that you are enough just because you are. Because
Mhm.
you came in that way, you know?
Yeah,
Because we have to unwind so much programming.
we do. And that's why I'm so excited that even 3 years ago with corporate events that I'm doing now too. 3 years ago, you would have never seen any of the wellness models there. And now, I mean, they gotta do it. It's just it's an old guard, an old model that's outdated, antiquated. It's no
Yes.
longer
It's an
working.
old paradigm that did not address the full mind, body, and soul package, right?
Mm-mm.
It was productivity driven, it was
It's consuming
performance
love,
driven,
right, and
not a
limited.
lot of compassion for
Yeah,
the human being.
right, right, just keeping us in line like minions.
I
Yeah.
hope to see that changing.
Ooh, it is. So, rephrase that right there even. So, it's little nuances like that, that people can, even the listeners today, they can do, reframe it, catch yourself, I hope. I embrace the beautiful change that's coming, right? I'm here for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. Our language and words do have power,
they do.
for sure.
Someone said they were magic, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna borrow that. Our words are magic." So they are.
I think we all are magic. I think we're incredible manifestors,
Oh, yeah.
but our reality is the manifestation.
Right, right.
So people go, gosh, the world is against me. Everything goes wrong. And they're in a narrative that
Mhm.
actually is reflected back to them in their reality.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think people just they think it's too scary, and it's too overwhelming. And the scary part is living where they are, like in that
But you don't get
misery.
that awareness until you're on the other side of it and go, wow, you have this perspective after, you
Right. So
climb the
just
mountain.
yeah, and I would impart to anyone you know, just start super small, chunk it down, If you're curious, great. Reach out or do a modal, go to a workshop, get a book. Mm.
I mean, it's really your own path. Follow the
Yeah,
nudges, follow the breadcrumbs is what I
right,
would say, because there are breadcrumbs all the time.
right. Yeah, they're
I
there
don't
for you.
know if you've had this experience, but once you started to open up to your guides, what was it like? Was it a gradual process? Did it happen through your energy modality training?
I think it was
What was it
gradual.
that got you going there?
I think it was already happening. It just the gate was unlocked, right? Um, and I think so this was helpful too. I did go visit a breathwork shaman here who was absolutely unbelievable. That was crazy. Crazy experience. I went to the other side probably 5 times. Whoa.
Wow.
I know, I know. And so it's yeah, and then he shared with me, like, what my soul contract was because we all have one. It's unbeknownst to us. Most people go through and they don't even know, right? Um, and
Did that give you some clarity around the work that you were meant to do?
Yes, absolutely, and he was just like, "Yeah, you're a soul gatekeeper," and I was like, "Well, what does that mean?" And he's like, "I think it's a pretty big deal up on the other over there." I'm like, "Okay." Still have no idea. I didn't even have any inkling to, like, look it up or
But
Google
it
it.
resonated when he spoke that to you.
It resonated, and I've just been yeah, and that was a couple years ago, and so I've just been, you know, like you said, you start the process, and I'm walking through different doorways, and the layers are just they're just beautifully unfolding.
Sometimes maybe it's a gift not to know. Maybe it's a
Mhm.
gift to just accept the unfolding and
Yeah,
just live in your alignment.
exactly, and I think, people, like, don't force it. Do not the more you want something, the less you're gonna get it, right? Um, it's just, again, we keep going back to it, but being present, open, and in the flow, right? And trusting source and universe. And
And when you're in that space, you don't have an agenda, you don't have a timeline,
Mhm.
you don't have an expectation. It's just divine alignment.
Right.
What have you noticed in the people that you're working with? What's the vibe out there, that you're feeling?
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, I actually just joined this organization called Shadeva, and it's really oh my gosh, it's like a soul sister, sorority, but all women like us that have been in corporate at one point, or they were founders of their own companies and sold them for 8 and 9 figures, and they've built this beautiful community, and we just speak the same language, and we're all supporting each other. No one's showing up with ego, you know? It's safe.
Imagine that. Stop right
Eh,
there. That's incredible.
right? Exactly.
Stop
We're
right there.
actually helping each other now, right?
Wow.
They pit us against each other for forever. But I mean, and even the divine masculine. It's not I mean, I'm not all about women. I embrace the divine masculine too.
Well, it's
And
within us, right? It's a
yeah.
balance and synergy. We all have the divine masculine and feminine codes, and they're
Yep.
within us.
Mhm.
I think a lot of us have been focusing on the divine feminine because it has been so toxic, just like toxic masculinity. For so long, it's a reclaiming of ourselves. But it's really a yin and yang, divine masculine and feminine balance within that we are creating.
Yeah.
But we were just talking about it earlier, how beautiful it is that the divine feminine is rising.
Yes. So
And it's
exciting.
time.
Yeah. Oh, it is overtime. It's tea time for sure.
Well, do you have
So
anything you want to share with the audience? Our time just went so quickly.
oh my goodness, yes. Okay, so yeah, any questions or just want to chat for a quick complimentary, investigative or I no, I don't want to call it investigative, like, just curious.
Like a discovery conversation.
Discovery call, tea, coffee. Yeah, you can follow me at Live Luminous Light, and light is LITE, right? Or my website is luminouslight, LITE.net.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'll put that in
And
the
then I'm
show notes
working.
so people can find you, connect with you, learn
Yeah.
more about what you're offering. You also do retreats, don't you?
Well, so retreats are coming because we're building a space in Costa Rica, which is exciting. But then I do like bespoke corporate events too. So I'll have any information on there about events. And then also, I am a host of a show called The Divine Feminine Show, which lives digitally on the Christy Maz network. So, yeah, that's kind of fun. We've got 3 episodes out now.
Awesome.
and then we'll be shooting 3 more soon. So
Awesome.
exciting.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations. I'm really happy that we connected. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you, Wendy. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's divine, again, guidance, timing, gift.
Yeah. To my audience, thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are kind to yourselves, love yourselves, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yes, thank you all.